University of Hong Kong, endowed professorships are created to provide perpetual support to areas of academic excellence. With a close partnership between town and gown, between generous philanthropists and academia, endowed professors represent a promise to scale new heights in our commitment to mankind. Each gift comes with a story, and each gift comes with a dream. The first endowed professorship was established in 2005. With the inauguration today, a total of 88 endowed professors will have been established at the university. All of the professors thus honored recognize our role as torchbearers for those who come after us. May I now present Sophie Y.M. Chan Professorship in Cancer Research.
Liver cancer is one of the most common cancers in Chinese population with a very poor prognosis. It is now the third cause of cancer deaths. The major reason is because it's not sensitive to conventional chemotherapy. My research is focusing on cancer stem cells. For the cancer stem cell, it's a very small group of cells inside the tumor, and is responsible for many tumor behavior. Our recent study demonstrated cancer stem cells are responsible for chemoresistance. If we can find some new strategy targeting on cancer stem cells, we can greatly facilitate the cancer therapy.
Professor Sen-Yuan Guan has made significant contribution in the field of cancer research, in particular in cancer stem cells and tumor microenvironment. He's a pioneer in his research area, and his work has important translational relevance for the benefits of cancer patients.
I would like to thank the late Miss Sophie Chen and Chen family for setting up the Endowed Professorship in Cancer Research. And we will use this endowment to support our cancer stem cell research, and I believe it will lead our research into a new level of excellence.
I invite Ms. Chan Yuman and Engineer Raymond Chan Kinsek to receive a Certificate of Appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present Sophie Y.M. Chan, Professor in Cancer Research, Guan Xin Yun.
Stomach and colon cancers are among the top 5 cancers in Hong Kong. Each year, about 6,000 patients suffer from these cancers, and more than 2,500 of them will die from these cancers. My research is on stomach and colon cancers, particularly on how to prevent them and how to detect them early. My key areas of research are basically looking at novel ways of screening for these stomach and colon cancers using either endoscopy-based techniques or some novel molecular-based techniques.
Professor W.K. Leung's research helped in developing the guidelines for the prevention and screening of gastric and colorectal cancers, both locally and internationally.
Hopefully we want to eliminate these cancers, we want to prevent them. Even if we find them, we want to find them at an earlier stage such that more curative treatment can be given to these patients. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Li Shufan Medical Foundation for supporting the Li Shufan Medical Foundation Professorship in Gastroenterology. I will use this endowment to continue my research on early detection and screening for gastrointestinal cancers, as well as some emerging areas in gastroenterology such as inflammatory bowel disease and intestinal microbiota.
I invite Dr. Walton Lee to receive a Certificate of Appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present Li Shufan Medical Foundation Professor in Gastroenterology, Leung Wai Keung.
My research is on comparative study of math education around the world, and my particular contribution is to use a cultural perspective in explanation of the differences. First is this large-scale international studies, where we can see which cluster of countries did well in mathematics. The second step is I go to a classroom and see how teaching and learning is going on. And then I examine the kind of values they have from the literature, and then try to explain things.
Professor Leung's research is important because it opened up new dimensions to help us to understand students' remarkable achievement in mathematics. His work and achievement is well recognized all over the world.
Countries like China, including Hong Kong, and Japan and Korea, I think there is more emphasis on effort compared to Western countries where they believe more in innate abilities. And one implication of that is that you can't simply transplant practices from high achieving country to low achieving one. You have to take the culture into consideration in all these policy decisions. I'd like to thank Ms. Shirley Lam for this Kintoy Professorship in Mathematics Education. I will use this donation to extend my study into ethnic minorities in China, and this is a follow-up to this cultural perspective in studying mathematics education.
I invite Miss Julia Lam to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present Kintoy Professor in Mathematics Education, Frederick K.S. Leung.
As a pediatric cardiologist, I focus my research on functional assessment of the heart and blood vessels in children with various types of cardiovascular diseases. The key areas of our research include the exploration of novel echocardiographic imaging modality to detect cardiac dysfunction in children with complex heart diseases and acquired heart diseases.
I've known Professor Zhang for more than 20 years. He is an outstanding clinician, clinical researcher, and also a teacher. He did a lot of good work, and among those is the study on the cardiovascular abnormality. So I think he really deserves to be an endowed professor of our university.
We have made significant breakthroughs in the functional assessment of the right heart and its interaction with the left, in particular in children with complex congenital heart diseases. We have also provided novel data on early detection of cardiac dysfunction in long-term survivors of childhood cancers. I am most grateful to Mr. Brian Lin for his generosity, and I'm truly humbled to be the inaugural recipient of this endowed professorship in pediatric cardiology. This endowment shall enable us to further expand our clinical research program and venture into new areas of breakthroughs in pediatric cardiovascular research.
I invite Mr. Brian Lin to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present Brian Lin, Professor in Pediatric Cardiology, Zheng Yufai. I invite Mr. Lo Shu Kwon and Madam Kan Po Ling to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Professor Gabriel Leung, Dean of Medicine, will represent the university to receive a certificate.
Precision medicine is a new initiative in which patients will be selected based on their genetic codes and then given specific treatment. My research is about how viruses cause cancer and how viruses cripple human immune system to cause diseases. Our research will identify new targets to which we can design new therapies. For example, there are drugs that are targeting the proteins that we discover in our study of oncogenic viruses. These will mean that the treatment will be precise, accurate, and patients will get the best benefit.
Professor Jin is a dedicated virologist. He has made a number of groundbreaking discoveries that allow us to better understand how viruses causes various diseases, including liver cancer and adult T-cell leukemias.
We're so grateful to Mrs. Clara Fogg and the late Mr. Lawrence Fogg for their generous donation in creating this Clara and Lawrence Fogg Professorship in Precision Medicine. We will use the endowment to train the next generation of biomedical scientists so that they can carry on our mission to push precision medicine to the next level of excellence.
I invite Mrs. Clara Fogg to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present Clara and Lawrence Fogg Professor in Precision Medicine, Jin Dongyan.
My research, there are two areas. One is in the use of geographic information in urban planning, and the other is urban spatial structure in Chinese cities. My key area of research is to use computers to develop urban simulation models in developing different planning scenarios under different environments, density, and urban forms, so that we are able to provide better plans for smarter cities and sustainable cities.
Anthony Ye has been studying urbanisation in China for almost 4 decades. He was the first person to alert the world to the massive conversion of agricultural land into speculative cities using his remote sensing computational work. He's now embarking on a new wave of urban big data studies for much more rational urban development in the 21st century.
This type of research that we are doing will make people to have a better life. In terms of traveling, in terms of shopping, in terms of saving energy. I am deeply honored to the late Mr. Chen To-han for contributing his estate to establish this Chen To-han Professorship in Urban Planning and Design. I will use the endowment to further advance my research on big data and smart cities in order to develop smarter and more sustainable cities for the future.
I invite Madam Ma and Dr. Ma to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present Chan To-han Professor in Urban Planning and Design, Anthony G. O'Ye.
The Hung Leung Hao Ling Distinguished Visiting Professorship in the humanities and social sciences is designed to attract scholars of top distinction to spend a period of time at the University of Hong Kong. These extended engagements will have a substantial impact on the intensity and quality of interactions between these world-class scholars and teachers and students at Hong Kong U. With a generous donation of $20 million, a permanent endowment to support the appointment of distinguished visiting scholars in the humanities and social sciences has been established. To show the university's full support and to augment the impact of this initiative, the $20 million donation will be matched by the university to form an endowment of $40 million. This will be used to develop path-breaking programs in both humanities and social sciences and to foster long-term links with leading institutions in the specific disciplines. The Hung Hing Ying and Leung Hao Ling Charitable Foundation and Kowloon Investment Company Limited hope that through the Hung Leung Hao Ling Distinguished Visiting Professorship in the Humanities and Social Sciences, Hong Kong U will continue to serve China and the world as a beacon of knowledge.
I invite Ms. Belinda Hung to receive a Certificate of Appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor.
My research is about the causes and mechanisms of diseases and genetic influences on health and disease outcomes. The key areas of my research are genetic association studies that aim to link diseases to changes in specific genes. Our research uses modern genomic technologies such as gene chips and DNA sequencing. Genomics is extremely important in medicine today. The knowledge gained from my research will help to develop new treatments and the optimal use of existing treatments, which will improve the disease outcomes of patients and improve the health of the community.
Professor Pat Sham has developed many powerful statistical genetics and bioinformatics analysis methodologies. These tools have helped clinicians and scientists worldwide to uncover new disease genes through which new prevention, diagnosis, and treatment strategies can be developed.
The Sun Chi-sun family have been staunch supporters of the University of Hong Kong for many years. I would like to express my deep gratitude for the Sun Chi-sun Professorship in Clinical Sciences. I will use the endowment to support my research team and to facilitate collaboration with other groups to advance our knowledge on the genetics of diseases.
I invite Mrs. Sun Chow Yuet Kam to receive a Certificate of Appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present Sun Chi-sun Professor in Clinical Science, Sham Pak Chung.
My research is in chemistry and medicines. In chemistry, we focus in catalysis and photochemistry that are related to energy research. Molecules absorb light photon from sunlight generate highly energetic electronic excited states. So we try to develop means to channel the excess energy from the sunlight to a useful chemical energy. My research into medicines is to develop new metal medicines for treatment of drug-resistant cancers with reduced side effects, and also to search for natural compounds from traditional Chinese medicines for cancer treatment.
Professor Chi is one of the most outstanding chemists in Hong Kong. his research into new compounds for drugs, as well as new materials, are being patented, and I'm sure they will lead to benefits in society in the future.
I wish to thank Dr. Zhong Hon Tak and Professor Zhao Guanjiao for the Professor Zhao Guanjiao Endowed Professorship in Natural Sciences. I will use the endowment fund to support a young scientist to understand the excited state dynamics. I think fundamental innovative basic research would lead to new technology and benefit the society.
I invite Dr. Chung Hon Tak to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present Zhou Guangzhou, Professor in Natural Sciences, Qi Jiming.
Asia is facing a crisis in population aging. Particularly, Hong Kong is not ready compared with other developed countries. My research is about gerontology, that means about older people. So I help the government to develop social policy as well as intervention for NGOs to prepare Hong Kong for population aging. We are promoting a concept called participant society. The government, the charity, and the community share the responsibility to take care of older people within the community. In the future, if this works, that means older people will be able to get assistance from their own home and their own environment, and the resources will go to the family and community to empower them to stay in the community instead of using formal services or going to nursing homes.
Gerontologists around the world are working very hard to try to improve the quality of life of older people, and Professor Lum's work provides creative solutions to that problem, so as to create a society that we all want to grow old in.
I want to thank Dr. Edwin Leung for the Henry G. Leung Professorship in Social Work and Social Administration. I am honored to become the second recipient of this endowment, and I will use the resources available to me to continue my efforts to enhance the well-being of older people in Hong Kong.
I invite Dr. Edwin S.H. Leung to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present Henry G. Leung, Professor in Social Work and Social Administration, Terry Y.S. Lum.
My research focuses on skeletal biology, looking at how a bone and cartilage are formed, how they grow, and how they are maintained, and finally how they degenerate.
The exciting new things that Professor Chen is doing now is to use simple organisms like planaria that are virtually immortal to try to understand how the stem cells survive, and this knowledge can be applied to regenerative medicine in humans.
The planarian is able to regenerate any missing part of his body because it maintains many stem cells in its adult stage. We would like to use what we discover in the planarian for the genes and proteins that are utilized in the regenerative process, and to find similar genes and proteins in the mammalian system so that we can utilize this as well. The ultimate goal is to be able to repair damaged cartilage in trauma and to heal damaged cartilage in patients with osteoarthritis. I would like to express my deepest and most sincere gratitude to Mr. and Mrs. Andrew Lee for the S.Y. and X.Y. Cheng Professorship in Stem Cell Biology and Regenerative Medicine. I would like to use this endowment to support the research of young investigators in stem cell biology to bring benefits to the society.
I invite Mr. Andrew K.F. Lee to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor, I present S.Y. and H.Y. Jiang, Professor in Stem Cell Biology and Regenerative Medicine, Danny Chan.